Welcome, my dear students. Now, today I am going to discuss about the micro teaching through simulation mode. How, as a teacher, to make a micro lesson plan so that I am going to discuss about the micro teaching through simulation mode. In previous class, I have discussed what is micro teaching and what is simulated teaching. At that moment, at that time, already I have discussed the different types of skills which are developed through micro teaching in a simulation situation. Before preparing the micro lesson plan, every student have to learn about the different types of skills. Those skills are included our curriculum according to WBUTTEPA guideline. So let's see what are the micro teaching skills have to learn. There are 5 skills. Skill of introducing the lesson, skill of questioning, skill of using teaching aids, skill of reinforcement, and skill of illustration. These are the 5 skills, and every student have to remember these skills according to sequence. First skill name, skill of introducing the lesson. Second skill name, skill of questioning. Third skill, skill of using teaching aids, skill of reinforcement, and skill of illustrations. Every skills have a 5 components. Every skills have a 5 components. Through these skills and component, we have to make a micro lesson plan. First skill name, skill of introducing lesson. There are the 5 components. These are securing attentions, assessing motivational level, linking with past experience, specifying the points to be taken for teaching as using appropriate device. Skill of questioning, precision and clarity of the language linked with specific objectives, refocusing and redirecting using student response for further questioning and prompting. Skill of use of teaching aids, relevant to topic, appropriate to the pupil's level, create interest and thinking, proper display and appropriate use. Skill of reinforcement, these are components: positive reinforcement, wrong response, weakened or broken, seeking further information, positive non-verbal reinforcement, writing pupil response on board, and last skills is skill of illustrations, relevant example, create clear concept and content taught, simple and easy, student interaction and correlate with topic. Now, we are going to discuss about the skill of introducing the lesson. The skill of introducing the lessons is a such of technique involves establishing the rapport between student and teachers. When the teachers enter into the class, the students are not attentive. They are engaged in different types of activities. At that time, the teachers have to create the attention among the students. That's why first point is sequencing the attention. The teachers can tell a story or recite a poem or different types of talks related to educational. They can interact with the student, etc. These are the techniques. Which techniques? Tell a story, recite a poem, interact with student in a particular topic. Through these techniques, the teacher can create attention among the student. That's why first point is securing attention. Next point is assessing motivational level. When the teachers interact with the student, when the teacher create the attention among the students through the different types of techniques, the main aims, the teacher wish for the ultimate level of motivation from the students. Here the teachers ask some questions. Through these questions, the teacher can motivate the students, link with past learning experience. When a teachers to prepare a lesson, he or she have to take a topic. The teachers want to measure, but want to assess how much learning experience the student has according to their present topic. Here, the teacher asks some questions on the basis of their previous experience. Through this technique, the teacher can create a bridge between past experience and present experience. That's why this skill name is link with past learning experience. Specifying the point to be taken up for the teaching. Here the teacher highlight the main points of the topic. Next, using appropriate device. At this stage, the teacher can use appropriate device such as teaching aids, model, chart, computer, tape recorder for increasing the student interest level. So, I am already discussed the skill of introducing the lessons. I repeat again, skill of introducing the lesson. When the teacher start to their lesson in the classroom, thus most of students are not attentive. They are engaged in different types of activities. For that's why the teachers have to do to create the attention among the students through the story. Recite the poem. After that, the teacher asks some questions to increase their motivational level. Then teachers is going to discuss about the topic. He or she have to measure how much learning experience the student gathers in previous. Here, teacher asks some question. Through this question, teacher can assess the student previous learning experience, and the teacher can create a bridge between previous learning experience and present learning. Then the teacher highlight the main points of the topic. Then the teacher used a appropriate device to increase the student interest levels. There are several types of device such as teaching aids, charts, model, computer, tape recorder, etc. Now, I make a micro teaching lesson plan from the skill of introduction. Here the student have to remember they have to take one topic and have to practice the defined skills. Topic should be precise, not lengthy, because the micro teaching time is limited, maximum 10 minutes. Here the teachers or trainee students have to take a sub-unit which he or she can complete a particular skill within the specific time. And also remember, he had to take one topic and practices all the skills. Now there is this format. First, mention here micro teaching lesson 1 because the first skill name is skill of introduction. Subject are mentioned life science, physical science, etc. etc. Topic, concept, topic or subject, then topic, subject, then subject life science, topic, concept of photosynthesis, explanation and component, source and importance. Name of the skill, skill of introduction. Time 10 minutes, date have to mention when you have practiced these skills in the class in the classroom. Then here mention some column. First, unit name, that is unit is photosynthesis. Content that is concept of the photosynthesis, explanation and component and source and importance. Then the component of the skills, the skill of introduction, the component, these are the 5 components, and this area is procedural, technique or teaching learning process. You should learn the teaching learning process occurred participation of teachers and students. Therefore, teaching learning process divided in 2 ways. First is teacher's activity and then learner's activity. Securing attention, here put the some questions to secure the attention among the students. Then the securing the motivational level, here also put some questions to increase their motivational level. And every skill have mentioned the time, should mention the time, how much time you have taken for a particular component. I just mentioned it 2 minutes. Then linking with the past experience. Here already I have discussed. Here suppose the concept of photosynthesis, explanation and components. That is the concept. Already students have learned in, that is the class 10, 9. In lower classes, they also learn what are the biological process are found in a plant, which biological process can produce the food, to prepare a food, which particular components are required. These are the some questions also students have learned in a lower classes. Here the teacher's activity is to link up between previous experience and present experience. That's why according to assess their previous experience, the teacher puts some questions and the learners answer these questions. Specifying the points. Here also means already I have discussed. Here the teacher highlight the main point, that topic. The highlight definition of the photosynthesis and chemical reactions, components of photosynthesis. Using appropriate device. Using here just mistakes. I have not mentioned here time. When you prepare the lesson plan, a micro teaching plan, you should mention the time. Using the appropriate device. According to subject, the teacher can use the appropriate device. I mentioned here some appropriate device, making chart of the place of photosynthesis, chemical reaction of photosynthesis, essential element for photosynthesis such as carbon dioxide, water, light, internal chlorophyll. These are the I am highlighting the main points. Evaluation sheet. These skills the teacher trainee, when they practices these skills at the presence of their students or classmate and observer, the observer immediately give him a feedback about the skill. After getting the feedback, the teacher can identify their weak point or strong point and which area have to rectified. After rectified, the teacher trainee had to practice once again. Therefore, I put a evaluation sheet, then student teacher signature and supervisor feedback signature. I think you have got it, how to prepare a lesson plan through the skill of introduction, the lesson. Now, next skills is skill of questioning. Questioning is also a very important, very essential technique. Through this question, the teacher can assess their performance about the topic, so that question should be precision and clarity of the language. The language of the questions should clear and precise. What is the precision? Through this question, the teacher can identify what they want to get and how much he get. That's why question should be precision and clarity. The language of the questions is precision and clear. Next, link with specific objectives. There are several types of learning objectives, such as knowledge base, understanding base, applying base, and skill base. When the teachers ask the questions, the teacher should remember how much learning objectives covered through their questions, so that when a teacher asks some question, the teacher should remember or should mention the learning objectives. Next, refocusing and redirecting. Refocusing. When a teacher asks some question to their student, the student can answer. This is called refocusing. And the response is correct. Redirecting means the teacher asks the same question to another student. This called is redirecting. Through these skills, through this component, The main aims of the teacher, the student active participation during teaching learning process. Use student response for further questioning. After getting the student response, the teacher is going to another area of the following topic and ask some questions. Once again I repeat. The main aims of this component to identify the nature of the students. After getting the student response, the teachers can proceed to ask some more questions. This is called using student response for further questioning. Prompting. It means to go deep into the student response when it is incorrect or no response. Here some hints are provided. Suppose when you participate in quiz competitions, some question you not known about the answer. The mentor or the give you some hints. Through these hints, you try to try to correct answer. These are called the prompting. That's why here mentioned it means to go deep into the student's response when it is incorrect or no response. Then a series of hints, prompts are given to student through step-by-step questioning in order to lead the student to the desired correct response. I think you have got it. Now, this is the micro teaching lesson spell number 2. Skill of questioning. That's why micro teaching skill number 2, skill of questioning. Also micro teaching lesson in 2. Here mention student name, students, a subject, topic, chapter, same things. Now components. Here some precision and clear of the language. Here the teacher puts some questions in clear language. Students are answer that questions. Linking with the specific objectives. Here the some questions. Ask some question according to the learning objectives. The learning objectives are knowledge based, understanding based, applying based, and skill based. The student are answer the questions and measure their learning area by learning objectives. Refocusing and redirecting. Here put some questions for the student. The student are answer this question, that is called refocusing. Same question also ask the another students, that is called the redirecting. Using student response for the further questioning. After getting the student response, teacher go ahead to put some questions, that is called using the student response. After getting the student response, the teacher go ahead to put some question, that is called is student response. the using the student's response for further responses. Prompting. Here also the some questions are mentioned here. The teacher providing some hints for the student. Through this hint, the student try to answer the question correctly. That is called his prompting. Also, they makes a evaluation sheet and student sheet signature and supervisor feedback signature. Now, skill number 3, skill of using teaching aids. You have to know what is the teaching aids. The term teaching aids means all the technique according to used by the teacher to teach in the class. It helps in increasing the level of attention in the students. These types of skills is very helpful in terms of the topic and the content. These skills provide the opportunity to learn in an interesting and purposefully way. Here are some components relevant to the topic. Teaching aids should be relevant according to topic. That's why called relevant to a topic. Appropriate to the pupils' levels. When teacher use the teaching aids, the teacher have to think the two criteria. Number one, the level of the student is and level of the performance of the students. Level of performance and level of student age. These are the main criteria that when the teacher makes a teaching aid, they should remember the two things such as levels of student age and level of students participation. Create interest and thinking. The teacher makes a such teaching aid. Through the teaching aids, the student can think and increase their interest level. That's why teaching aids should be clear and simple. Proper display. When the teacher use the teaching aids, the entire classroom or all the students can see the teaching aids appropriately. That is called proper display. Appropriate use. That is the means of the time factors. Here the teacher have to think when she or he use the teaching aids during their teaching learning process. These are the very important components. Particularly the appropriate use. If teachers are not able to use the teaching aids in appropriate time, it is quite difficult for the student to understand the teaching aids which are related to their topic. Here also I have give you as a model, that is the micro teaching lesson plan 3, because this skill number is 3. Skill of using teaching aids. Same things, same chart but same column have to mention here. Components relevant to the topic, Here the teachers use the makes a teaching aids according to their topic, appropriate level of the student. When the teacher makes the lesson teaching aids, he should remember the according to their students' age level and according to their student level, because there are several different types of students in the classroom, and they came from different socio-economic conditions. Here, that's why teachers should remember that criteria. Create interest and thinking. When the teachers makes a teaching aids, the teaching aid should create the interest among the students, and they can think about the teaching aids. Proper display also mentions. Here the teacher use the teaching aids so that all the students can see the teaching aids appropriately. Appropriate use. During the teaching learning process, teaching aids should be used appropriately, and teaching aids must be attached with the topic. Evaluation. Here the evaluation is student signature and supervisor signature. Skill number 4, skill of reinforcement. What is reinforcement? Now, reinforcement implies the use of the techniques for the influencing the behavior of individual in desired direction. This skill is being used to utilize the good behavior of the students and to avoid the undesirable behaviors of the students. Reinforcement is also a very important technique. Suppose a teacher asked a question to their student. Suppose the student answered the question correctly. If the teacher immediately give him the feedback, positive giving the feedback or a reinforcement, very good, excellent, the student, his behavior automatically change, because the student think they want to know, or think they go their desired level. That's why some component: positive reinforcement, wrong response broken, seeking further information, non-verbal reinforcement, writing pupil response on board. Positive reinforcement, that is the positive reinforcement, good, very good, excellent, these are the positive reinforcement. Wrong response, weakness or broken. When teachers ask the questions to the student, suppose a student give him the answer wrongly, the teacher immediately asks the same question another student. Suppose this question another student, suppose that students are give him the correct answer. First thing, the teachers ask the students to what he have learned from their other student who have given a correct answer, and the teachers can use that techniques to broken the wrong response or weaken the wrong response. Seeking further information. After getting the student respond, teacher go ahead to ask some questions to the students, and student give him a when the student give him feedback correctly or positively, the student give him immediate reinforcement. Non-verbal reinforcement. These things, this process, the teacher does not use a single word, just his answer is through his gesture or posture. Suppose note, when the teacher asks a question to the students and give the right answer, the student nodding their head or nodding their neck. That is called non-verbal reinforcement. Writing pupil response. After getting the response from the student, the teacher should mention their answer on the blackboard. This also the skill number 4. These are also the format. Reinforcement, positive reinforcement. Here some put some question, the student answered and teacher giving the positive feedback. Okay. Wrong response book, and here student also the ask same way, ask some question, which student give him the answer correct. The teacher asks the first the student who has given the wrong answer, and he asks the student to hear the correct answer from the student and give him the correct answer. Providing lead the seeking information. After getting the information, the teacher go ahead for further questioning or further feedback through their reinforcement. Positive non-verbal reinforcement. Here teacher putting some questions, student answer the question. The teachers do not use a single word, just he show a gesture or posture. Writing student response on the board. After getting the student response, the teacher should write their answer on the blackboard. Here also the evaluation sheet. Now last skill is skill of illustration. This is also the very important skills. During the teaching learning process, the teacher elaborating their topic or illustration their topic. Relevant example. When the teaching learning process is going in elaborately or illustratively, the teacher should mention some example relevant to their topic. That is called is relevant example. Clear concept. The teacher, when the teaching learning process, that when the teacher elaborate by illustrate their topic in a clearly or sequentially, and use the language that teacher should use the language in simple and easy. When the teaching learning process is going on, the teacher should maintain the student interaction among the students. That is called student interaction. Correlate with the topic. The teacher will give the examples with the relevance to the topic and makes the student have the clear idea about the concept involved in the lesson. Now it's also model the questions. Relevant example. Here the some question according to the example. Clear concept, teacher discuss or elaborate the topic in clearly. Simple, the language should be simple and easy. The teacher have to maintain the student interaction. Correlate. Here the teacher can explain the topic with the relevance and makes some questions. Now, today we have learned how prepare a micro teaching or micro lesson plan. Every student should have to practice to prepare a micro lesson plan and immediate give him immediate give me the feedback about the topic. Particularly my desire, I want every student can make their micro teaching lesson plan effectively. So if they face any problem, I always give him support. Thank you.